welcome to another edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Morgan Minster
and Amber Krieg. On today's show, we'll be reporting on Marquette's weekly Advent prayer services, updating you on how our dance team did at the state competition, starting our senior interviews, answering your questions in You Ask, We Answer,
and as always, updating you on Marquette sports and events. And as Amber said, this week we are starting a very exciting feature, our senior interviews. Those of you who tuned in last year know that each week we randomly select a senior to be interviewed. Brooklyn Moore will be conducting the interview and will be sharing it at the end of the show. So Brooklyn, who is this year's very first randomly selected senior?
This week's senior is Jonathan Stroyan.
Thanks, Brooklyn. I know we're all looking forward to that interview with Jonathan. But first up today, Morgan and I would like to take some time to discuss a newly organized event happening at Marquette this holiday season.
This year, the faculty members at Marquette have decided to introduce a Jesse tree to the students. A Jesse tree is a very old tradition that celebrates the genealogy of Jesus and many important events leading up to the birth of Jesus. Among Jesus' ancestors are very famous biblical figures such as Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Obed, Jesse, David, and Joseph, just to name a few.
So, to celebrate the tradition of a Jesse tree, a Christmas tree is now set up in the MEC. For every day leading up to Christmas, a new ornament will appear on the tree that represents a different member of Jesus' family tree.
And every day in the morning, a brief reading will be shared with all students, kindergarten through high school. The readings include a Bible passage, a symbol, and a short prayer that recognizes the family member for that day.
Now we'll hand it over to a group that we'll always consider a family. Jam time.
During the season of Advent, the whole K-12 school system gathers together for the Advent prayer services.
Every Monday during Advent, a prayer service is held in St. Joseph Church for students and faculty.
During the prayer service, a scripture is read. Afterwards, a reflection is shared, and the students are given a challenge meant to help strengthen their spiritual life.
I really liked Mr. Kaiser's reflection this week. His story about the giving tree really helped me feel more in the giving mood.
Especially when he told us about the person whose name he drew, the little boy who could have asked for any gift he wanted, but instead asked for warm mittens for his sister and a pair of socks without holes. It really helped me be thankful for what I have.
Mr. Kaiser also challenged his students to think about what they were thankful for.
Another thing that Marquette has been participating in is Operation New View.
Operation New View is a program which provides holiday gifts and basic needs for the less fortunate families of Jackson County.
Some items needed include new underwear, socks, hats, mittens, and scarves, or even used items like snow pants, boots, and toys.
Or items like blankets, pillowcases, school supplies, and personal care items.
The school would like the gift or gifts to be under the tree by Thursday, December 10th.
And don't forget, the gift or gifts need to be unwrapped.
Speaking of wrapping things up, we better wrap up this segment. This has been
Jam Time
with Justina Denlinger,
Allison Hager,
Megan Litter,
and Mackenzie Kilberg.
We'll be back after these short messages.
We're back with Marquette in Motion. Christina Coos is here with her report on state dance.
This year's Marquette Catholic dance team members include senior captains Lauren Kilberg and Christina Coos, junior Madeline Jackson, sophomores Allison Hager, Shabnam Schmidt, and Hannah Ray, and freshman Mackenzie Kilberg. We dance under the guidance of Coach Jessica Meaninger. On Thursday, the team traveled to Des Moines for the State Dance Championship competition. After 2 months of late practices, hard work, dedication, and determination, it all paid off. The team received the highest rating possible on their POM routine. This qualified them for a possible place among the top 5 teams. I am happy to announce that the Marquette Catholic dance team came home yesterday with the Class 1 POM State Dance Championship second place trophy. Stop by at the next home basketball game on December 11th to see the second place state routine. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Christina Coos.
Thanks for that report, Christina. Now let's slide on over to Lauren with this week's installment of You Ask, We Answer. Our first question this week says, how is the school faring with only one gym?
Well, scheduling our main and now only gym between a number of teams was a big concern for our school this year. However, everyone is responding very well to this change and making the best of the situation. The MEC is busy from 7 in the morning to at least 9 in the evening, with morning choir practices in the choir room, now housed in the MEC, and gym classes during the school day, followed by junior high basketball practice from 3:15 to 5, then high school basketball practice from 5 to 7, with a shared hour with the opposite gender basketball team, and the dance team after that. It's a hectic schedule that we're all working with. and surprisingly, doing very well with.
Speaking of the choir room in the MEC, how is that going?
The transition of the choir room into the MEC has also been a smooth one this year. With the hallway that leads from the Marquette Junior High building into the MEC, students have easy access to the room, but it's removed enough that the singing doesn't disrupt any normal classes. I think this setup was the best that was available, and as a whole, I think the entire school is happy with it.
Glad to hear it, Lauren. Our last question today is something else I know we're all glad about. Homecoming is, well, coming. What are some traditions for this time of year at Marquette?
Well, Morgan, outside of the usual homecoming week dress-up days, the Friday homecoming mass and pep rally, the crowning of the king and queen, and the dance itself, one tradition that may be somewhat unique to Marquette is the way that the students ask each other to the dance. The students tend to go somewhat grand in their gestures, making signs, interrupting classes, and bringing flowers for the lucky girl they're asking. It's all part of the excitement of the season. But the excitement of my season is hearing from all of you. We're always listening at Marquette in Motion at marquettecatholic.com. I'm Lauren Kilberg. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig are here with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, Morgan. With Christmas right around the corner, you may still be looking for that perfect gift for someone. Look no further. Marquette is selling the delicious fruit-filled pastries known as butter braids. For $14, you can order apple, cinnamon, raspberry, or strawberry and cream cheese butter braids, or caramel rolls. Call your order into the office Monday at 872-3356, and your butter braid will be here by December 22nd.
Speaking of braids, does anyone know another word for braid? The arrangement where three sections are woven together?
Well, fellow Quiz Bowl members, I certainly do. It happens to be called a plait. That's P-L-A-I-T.
Well, Mr. Quizbowl, why don't you share the results of Thursday's Quiz Bowl competition?
It would be my pleasure. The Marquette Quiz Bowl team traveled to Clinton Community College this past Thursday, competing against 11 teams. Our team advanced all the way to the semifinals, where they lost. However, they played one more match to gain the third-place trophy. Congrats to everyone on the team.
Speaking of teams, basketball is once again upon us. On November 24th, JV and varsity girls traveled to Central City. Both of Marquette's girls' teams pulled out a victory that night. The boys kicked off their season this past Monday when all of our teams traveled to Durant. Marquette's JV girls won easily, but the JV boys came up 1 point shy in the final seconds of the game. Varsity girls fell short as well against Durant's team, who is ranked 9th in the state for Class 2A teams. For varsity boys, it was close throughout the game until the last quarter when Durant gained momentum and was able to take the win. All of our teams fought hard, and we are proud of what they were able to do. Marquette also had a quad yesterday against Midland. We will have the results for those games next week.
Another event that is coming soon are the 3 Christmas concerts this year. Tomorrow night, the Jim Parks Festival will be held at Bellevue High School, beginning at 7 p.m. Monday evening, December 7th, the preschool through 5th grade concert will be held at the MEC, beginning at 6:30. And finally, on December 13th, you can enjoy the 6th through 12th grade concert, also in the MEC, beginning at 6:30.
God rest ye merry gentlemen.
We can take a hint, Amber. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters.
And Jonathan Herrig with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, boys. Now we'll head on over to Know More. Take it away, Brooklyn.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Moore, and I'll be interviewing Jonathan Stroyan, a senior at Marquette. So, John, your senior year is almost halfway done. How do you feel about that?
I'm very excited that it's coming to an end. I'm really ready to go to college next fall.
Even though I know you're excited about future plans, what's the one thing you'll miss most about Marquette or high school in general, besides me?
The people and not having a lot of homework every night.
I brought up your future plans before. Could you tell our audience what you have in mind?
I plan on attending Iowa State University for a degree in bioinformatics and computational biology.
Okay, that sounds great, but what is it?
It's been explained to me as the crossroads between computer science, biology, and statistics.
Well, you may be ready for college, but I'm not. I mean, you have to fill out so many different... Well, I guess I don't really know for sure. What do you have to fill out in order to prepare yourself for college?
I've been preparing for it since my freshman year based off of the classes I've taken. I took my ACT the December of my junior year. I'm about to take it next weekend again. I applied to Iowa State earlier in the year. A couple weeks ago, I accepted the offer of admissions and put down a down payment on a dorm room for the semester.
Well, I'm glad to know you're prepared. It's been great talking about college and stuff, but what about you? What's an average day like for Jonathan Stroyan?
I go to school. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I lift. If it's not, I just go home. And that's about it for me. December is a really lax time of year.
Don't do anything with friends, hit up Casey's maybe?
I mean, on weekends, yeah.
So December is pretty relaxed for you. But what about your busier months? What activities do you do then?
In the beginning of the school year, I'm involved with cross country. I manage for that. I'm a member of student council. I'm on the Marquette Honor Society. I was in the fall play this year. I auditioned for all-state choir as well. And then in the spring, I will be throwing shot put for the track team. I'll be a part of the musical. Student Council and Marquette Honor Society will continue to have things going on for me there. And I'll be preparing for something with solo and ensemble for choir.
Well, I'm glad you're staying active. I have a final question before I let you get back to class. What's the best piece of advice you can give to an underclassman?
Don't procrastinate. I did, and it didn't end too well for me.
Very wise. Well, thanks for letting me interview you, John, and thanks to everyone for listening. Make sure to keep tuning in for more interviews. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thanks for tuning in. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Morgan Minster
And Amber Krieg.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay in motion.